What do you notice? That's the equation, our very basic equation for exponential, right? Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is identify whether something is growth or decay. Do you think you know how to do that? Okay. So just some side questions real quick. How do you know if something's growth or decay? By the B value, right? Okay. When is it growth? Greater than 1 is growth. And what is decay? So now I'm going to try to trick you. Are you ready? This is a T. Is that growth or decay? Okay, so for one of those answers is correct. It's either growth or decay. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, I can't look at this and know. Okay? We don't even have to graph it. We don't even have to do that much. But why can't I look at this and know? Because B is 2. That should be growth. It's a fraction in the exponent. It's not just the exponent by itself. Do you see the difference? Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to separate our exponent. Because I know my exponent rules, I know how to separate my exponent. Can't I separate my exponent like that? So can't I do 2 to the 1/3 power? Because isn't that just a power and a power? Right? Okay, so now I have A times 2 to the 1/3 power. Well, what's 2 to the 1/3 power? I wish we had calculators so we could all be checking to see what it was. Two to the 1/3 power. Remember another thing for you to think of, because we all know this off the top of our head, that's the cube root of 2. It's not 2 divided by 3, it's 2 raised to the 1/3 power. Today, for the record, today we're going to go to 4 decimal places. Okay? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So let's go to the 10,000ths place today. So now can you tell me if this is growth or decay? You can tell me that already, right? Okay? Now, because I know where we're going, we're going to go ahead and say it's growth. Because I know where we're going, and you don't know yet, but because I know where we're going, I want us to do one more step. Okay? Here's the step I want us to go to. Oops. What's the difference between these two? Nothing. Think back for just a moment when we did the word problems about the car depreciating and college loans earning interest. You remember that? And we had to say 1 plus the interest rate or 1 minus the interest rate. So not only do we know this is growth, but you can tell me by what percentage rate, can't you? By what percentage rate is this growing? 25.99%. Yeah, if it's my bank account, that's so great. Yeah. So, is there a time where this is going to be 1 minus something? When? If it's decay, right? If it's decay, this number right here is going to be between 0 and 1, right? So we're going to have to figure out this number right over here, what it's going to be. Now that seems like it's going to be hard. It is definitely not. Okay? Y equals A times 0.5 raised to the T over 28 power. So first thing to do, separate our exponent, right? So y equals a times 0.5 raised to the 1/28th times t. What is 0.5 raised to the 1/28th power? Okay. 0.9755 to the t power. Now, sometimes it blows people's mind that we can still get an answer and know a percentage rate without having any idea what A is. On any of the problems on your homework, you're not going to know what A is. It's just going to say A. Do we care about that? No. All that tells us is our starting value, right? All I'm asking you right now is, can you tell me whether it's growth or decay? And when you decide whether it's growth or decay, I need you to tell me by what percent it's growing or decaying. Can you do that? Without knowing A? Good. So, growth or decay? Decay. Is it? Before we can know what percent it's growing or decaying by, we have to write it in this form right here. It's either going to be 1 plus or 1 minus. Since this is less than 1, I know it's going to be 1 minus something, right? 1 minus what equals 0.9755? 0.0245. How did you do that? So you started with 1 and subtracted this to figure out what you have to subtract from 1 to get that, right? So now what percent is it decaying by? 2.45%. I don't really know how I can make it harder. Okay. I'm sure I can find a way if you want me to look into it. Oh, no. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. So it's either going to be growth or decay. If it's growth, what some people were trying to do last period is say 1 plus 1.2599. Well, it's already 1. 1 is already part of the answer, right? So I just need to take whatever's here to make it growth. Yeah, whatever the decimal is. Okay? Do you have any questions about that? Somebody asked me a question that they don't understand or they think someone else might not understand about this. Did we cover it all? Okay, it's possible. I just don't ever want to assume that. Okay? All right, so do the problems on the board. Get it done. Questions?